Into the NFL on EA Sports.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. There's Carson Wentz bringing out the Philadelphia Eagles. 21 touchdown passes, just 7 interceptions for him last year until a back injury knocked him out in Week 14. Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Probably mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in, plus nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's...
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Shaquille Barrett picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So here are the Bucs now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And this is a guy who cares totally about his team. He will do whatever it takes for a play to be successful and for his team to win. I've seen him become a lead blocker on running plays, even though I'm sure his coaches don't want him anywhere near that pile.
Now he's into the clear. The 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Peyton Barber, 84 yards. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now Wentz. Leaping, and he makes the grab. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Shaquille Barrett getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length.
And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Peyton Barber, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
So 2 successful two-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or two-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. On 1st down, they run with Howard. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Ertz has it left side. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards the pickup there.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Shaquille Barrett, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They scored a touchdown the last time they had the football, but things going to be a little bit more difficult this time.
No, certainly, because where they're starting, the goal isn't even thinking about a touchdown at this point. They're thinking about field position, a couple of first downs.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Peyton Barber on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. But go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
And they on 2-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A gain of 13. It's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Here's Wentz to throw. Completes it to Aguilar. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Now Wentz.
So how would you describe
a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Peyton Barber on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And this Buccaneer offense, they're running away with this one. Jameis to throw it. On 2-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Let's go. Do it.
It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now, under 100 yards of total offense. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll run the counter with Barber. There he goes left side. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Peyton Barber. 55 yards. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified.
And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And did he get the football to break the play? No, he did not. They'll say he's out of bounds, shy of the goal line, and they'll be denied on the 2-point conversion.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, Somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start on the ground with Barber. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run here with Barber. And a spin again. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Barber on 1st and 10. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. And this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's Barber. A second nice move, a spin. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 10 more there and another first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On first down, Barber. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. The carry for Barber. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Bucs offense continuing to pour it on. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Winston and the Bucs. Winston now after the fumble recovery. And they're a perfect 5 for 5 now on 2-point conversions as he is in to get them 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Peyton Barber, 26 yards. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he Buccaneer offense. They're running away with this one.
Hey, rookie, that's the way to make an impression. Return one for a touchdown.
Yeah, welcome to the party. We saw him fielding those punts before the game, and he just had a little bit of a look in his eye, didn't he?
He did. He was a confident young man, and now we know why.
Being chased out left. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy.
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him again. That is sack number 6. One off the NFL record of 7.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Shaquille Barrett in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with a late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's taken to the 26. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that?
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Wentz on the draw, leaves it for Sanders. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Winston gives to Barber. Just bowling over tacklers. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. And one of the whistles for timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Here's Barber. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, Barber. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles.